Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you a product from the Stamps of Life. This is the double Z-fold card. This will be featured on HSN, and if you're interested in this product, you will need to head over to their website and do a search for the Stamps of Life, and you should find this unless it's sold out if it's not on there. So the actual double Z-fold card, it comes with the actual card base and some layering pieces. It does not come with the word happy, nor does it come with the balloons, nor does it come with the word birthday. But I want to show you what's included, and I want to show you how to make this card. So you can see when it stands up, it is the shape of a Z, and it's just really cute. It just has so much dimension, and it does fold flat. I want to also mention that this piece that is inside here, that's just an extra piece that I added on to give this extra dimension. It does not include a die for that piece there. So if you want to see how to make this, go ahead and stay tuned, and I will show you what's included with this set and how to make this card. So the largest die in the set makes the actual card base, which is here. It also comes with a bunch of layering dies. So it comes with the pieces. So you have this piece and this piece, all of these are some layering dies, and then also the dies to make this fun flap. So to make this flap here, you have all of these dies to do it. You have the actual background piece and then the layering dies that you can make that flap. It also comes with these fun dies for the panel. So you can see here, I have this panel here that I die cut using this die, but there's also, so we have the circles and there's also the hearts. So you have the heart shape too. So you have both of these that you can use depending on what type of card you're using, or you don't have to use this drop-in at all. You can just use this die to die cut a piece of solid color or pattern paper like I did here, just to put a decorative piece on those panels, okay? So that is up to you how you want to do this. Now this works just like a background. I'm sure many of you have seen the background dies from the Stamps of Life, which in order to use it and cut the background out, you would just drop these in together. So this background piece would be dropped in the outside rectangle piece to die cut it out. Now here I did some paper piecing, and I'll show you how I did that a little bit later. You also have the large rectangle layering die, which I used here for this piece of pattern paper. And it also comes with some word dies. It looks like it says thinking of you, and there is a shadow and the actual letters. So I did not use that on my card, but you can make it a thinking of you card if you wanted to. And then there's also some of these hearts that you can die cut if you wanted to add extra dimension to this piece. You can have these hearts to do so. So those are all the fun dies that are included in the set. Now I want to show you how I made this fun card, so stay tuned. So starting out, I have my card base, which is the largest die in the set, and I went ahead and die cut that out of the blueberry cardstock, and you can see it does place 2 score lines in that die cut. And next, I want to die cut the pieces to make the actual layer that goes across the bottom. So I have these 2 dies, which I also die cut out of the blueberry cardstock. So I have this die, which cut this one out. And then I have this die that has these 2 boxes, which this line right here does not actually cut. It just puts a score line in your cardstock. And these 2 pieces will actually be attached together, which you'll see in a little bit, and they'll make the flap on the front of the card. Next, I'm going to take this background die. This is very similar to the background dies that the Stamps of Life sells that are larger, that fit on an actual card front. But this is an actual smaller, it fits more for a panel, and it works the same way. So you have your outside rectangle and then your inside die, which you'll layer on just like this. So you'll have the large rectangle on the outside and then the background piece on the inside, and then just add some washi tape to keep those together and then run that through your die cut machine. And when that comes out of your die cut machine, you get your panel die, and you also have all of these little pieces that cut out. You can save these if you wanted to pop these back in, or you can die cut them in a different color, which I did the same thing here, and I did it in kiwi. And I have all of the little fill pieces in another background. So I can actually mix and match, and I can piece, you know, different colors back in if I want to do that. So I went ahead and die cut another one out of the banana cardstock, and I'm gonna save all of my pieces for all three of my die cuts. So I have one out of the banana, one out of the kiwi, and one out of the blueberry. And I'm gonna be saving all of my little pieces for all of those because I am gonna do some paper piecing. Now, you don't have to do the paper piecing. That's a little bit more advanced. If you like this set and you want to get this and just make it the basic way, you can do that as well. So you can pretty much just take your background layer and pop it on your panel and you can be done. If you wanted to die cut that background in another color so that you had another color showing up behind it, you can take this die cut it in another color and layer that on, and boom, you could be done. But I'm taking it up a notch, and I'm gonna use my blue panel background, and then I'm gonna piece in the kiwi as well as my banana pieces to make this a little bit more colorful. So I'm gonna go ahead and start decorating this side panel. So here's my panel. I love how that turned out. And I have all of these extra pieces that I can use to make another card. So I can hang on to these and I can make another card with them. So for this back panel, I found this paper, and this is obviously going to be a birthday card. And this is actually where I got my inspiration from, not only the colors, but the design here. So if you look in this present, you can see that the bottom part of this present has the kiwi solid background, which is what I have here. The circles are the banana circles. And this paper came from my Hello Friend paper pad. You can see that it's been used quite well. I don't know if there's any more of this in stock, but that's where I got it from, the Stamps of Life, and it was the Hello Friend collection. So I thought that these colors went perfect, and that's again where I got the inspiration from. So I have this piece. Obviously I used a little piece of that, but that's no big deal. And then I'm gonna take this die that came with the set, and I'm gonna die cut this for my layering piece that's gonna go right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this on. And I'm gonna go ahead and work on the actual panel that goes across. So remember, we die cut these two pieces, and then I'm gonna take these 3 dies. So I have these layering dies, the small ones, and then the larger one, and I'm gonna use my kiwi cardstock for all 3 of those pieces. So we'll die cut all of those on the kiwi. So now I'll just glue these on. Now this one has the score line, so this piece will actually be folded at the score line, just like that. And then this piece also has a little score line with the flap, and that will also be folded. And this is the piece that you're gonna put glue on, because these 2 pieces are going to be attached. So you're just gonna take the edge of one of the smaller squares and just attach it to that little flap, just like that. So now you have one long piece that you can attach to your card. So I'm gonna put the word happy that's going across this panel, and I'm using my dotted alphabet dies. These were on HSN, they're Stamps of Life product. They were on HSN, I think in November, and these are pretty large dies. They have dots on the letters. I went ahead and die cut the shadow layers out of white cardstock, and now I'm going to die cut these layering pieces with the dots, and I have some blueberry cardstock with double-sided adhesive on the back, and I'm just going to lay these on here and run these through my die cut machine, and then I will attach them to their shadow layers. For this inside panel, I die cut a piece of the banana with polka dot paper. That is from the Sunshine collection. And I used this rectangle die to die cut that out. Now I wanted to go with something not as busy because this could also be a spot to write a message on the inside. So when this card folds, it's actually gonna fold kind of inward. So you're not really gonna see that. It's not gonna be a part that's really standing out on the card. It will be kind of tucked away. But I wanted to go ahead and include something on that panel because I had things on, you know, both of these other panels, and again, you can write a message there. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach that. Now, if you didn't want to write a message on this panel, then the other option is to turn the card over and you can write your message on the back. Now, if you wanted to, you could also die cut another one of these panels and put it here, so you can have that design flow all the way through. That's simply up to you. So I went ahead and attached all of my pieces here, and I'm gonna go ahead and lay out how I want the word happy to appear on this panel, and then I will glue them down. And I think what I'm gonna do is there's a little line, almost like a embossed line in this cardstock, and I'm gonna use that as a guide to make sure that these letters are straight. I'm gonna put this block here just to keep this down while I glue these on. And I'm not gonna put glue all the way at the top because some of these letters will be hanging off of the top edge. I'm gonna incorporate some balloons on this card. So the balloon dies that I'm using are from the 5x7 box card die set. They have a couple of the balloon dies, and I thought these would be a perfect addition. So what I've done is I have taken the large balloon die, which is the large shadow die, and I die cut a blueberry piece of cardstock for the large one, and then the smaller one also blueberry cardstock because I have two smaller balloons here. And then I have a layering piece which I die cut a piece of pattern paper. It's just this star pattern paper from the same paper pad as this set. Layered that one on there. It also has this polka dot die, which is a layering piece for one of the balloons, which I die cut out of the banana cardstock and also out of the kiwi cardstock. So I did put double-sided adhesive on the back of this before running it through my die cut machine because you can see all of these little dots here. This is a very intricate die, and I didn't want to have to deal with any of the glue seeping out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and layer that on. And then as far as for the strings that hang down on the balloons, I have some dies for that as well. So that's part of the set. So there are these two dies, which I die cut out of the blueberry cardstock. So I have the smaller one once, and then that longer one twice. And I'm going to die cut the layering pieces. They do have the layering pieces to go with them. And I am going to do some white as well as the banana cardstock. So for the white one, I am die cutting it twice, and I did put the double-sided adhesive. Again, this is another intricate die, and I'm just gonna layer that on. So now I'm just going to put some glue at the tip, and only at the tip, and then attach these balloons. I'm just gonna rest an acrylic block over that just to make sure that dries well and it stays tight on the cardstock. I'm gonna go ahead and attach this piece to my card, and then I'll adhere my balloons and also the birthday die. Now I wanna just point something out when you attach this. Now I was thinking about making it so that this layering piece here is even with this layering piece and not all the way at the edge, and then also and I was also gonna put it so that it ends where the pattern paper ends. But what I found is if I try and do that, it's not gonna close right. This part is gonna end up bunching up. So in order for this to close properly, you're gonna have to make sure that the edge of this piece and this piece is at the complete edge of your card. And then if it is, then it will be able to close flat, okay? Because if it's anywhere in here or anywhere over here, you're gonna have problems and issues with it closing, okay? So keep that in mind. Now you can put this as low or as high as you want. It really doesn't matter, it's up to you. I'm thinking that I'm gonna put it pretty much down so that it's covering the bottom of this design. I could put it here so that a little bit of the design shows at the bottom, but I'm really thinking I'm gonna go down further, which will give me more room here to write a message. I'm not gonna put it all the way at the bottom of this. You can totally do that if you want to. It will just be another layer that it will rest on when it stands up. I'm actually gonna put mine where this layer ends. So I'm gonna add some glue. And then I'm gonna add my layer. And again, making sure that it is flush with this edge. And if I got any glue outside of that, it's okay. I can just wipe that up. It's not a big deal. Okay, and then this piece as well. So with this piece, I can actually just put glue on here because that's the only piece that's gonna be adhered. And that way I know exactly where it's going. And I'm gonna line it up with the bottom of that cardstock, and I've got to make sure that I line it up with the edge of this card layer. Okay, so now you can see that it will fold flat and it will stand up. Next I have this birthday die, and I just die cut the word birthday. It comes with a shadow layer, but I'm not using the shadow layer because I don't have room for the shadow layer. And I did put double-sided adhesive on the back of this before running it through my die cut machine, and just die cut it out of the, what is this, the blueberry cardstock. So I'm just going to put that here. So isn't that cute? So happy and then birthday. That fits perfectly on that little square. And I will link all these products down below. So if you're interested in any of these products, make sure you take a look at the description box. So now I can take my balloons and I can actually put them here so that they are coming out of the word happy if I wanted to do it that way. I could even put some here on this side panel. But I have all this space in here and I'm thinking I want to do something with this and add more dimension to this card. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of the blueberry cardstock, I cut it down to 1 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to take out my scoring tool and I'm going to score at 3/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to turn this over, score again at 3/8 of an inch. So I have these two score lines and I'm going to fold here at the score lines. And this piece will fit right inside of this square. It will fit perfectly, so you can just glue it on those flaps and add another layer in there for some dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on both of my flaps. And I'm just going to, I also want to make sure that it's just directly in the middle as well. So I'm just going to stick it in there and then just make sure that it is lined up. And then I'm just going to come in here and press down. So make sure you're using some strong glue so that this panel stays. And then if you just push your card flat on your table and then just press down to make sure that those panels stay, because that's key, is that this still is going to have to be folded so that it is flat. So next we can go ahead and add these balloons, and I'm going to add 2 balloons to the back and 1 balloon to the front. So I'm not putting glue on the whole back side of this because a lot of it's going to be sticking up. I'm going to go ahead and add that towards the left, and I'm adding it on the inside panel that I just created. And then I'm going to add this one also on the inside panel, and then this one is going to go in the front. Notice how I kind of put this one on the left, this one on the right. That way this one can be shown right in the middle when you're looking straight at it. So I'm going to put glue on the front of this, and then I'm going to press that right behind that P. I'm going to add a little bit more glue here because this can take some more glue. Isn't this adorable? I love this. So you can add more dimension to this by adding that little piece inside. So isn't that cute? So it does fold flat, and when you open it up you can see all that dimension, and it does stand up. So it says happy birthday, and it has the 3 balloons with the added dimension. Now the way that I created this card, it might be a little hard to put a message here. So you can just turn this over if you wanted to die cut maybe a white rectangle and layer this on and then write a message on the back. You can definitely do that. Here is another Z-fold card that I created, and this time using the heart panel. And I used the Best Bud Bears to Stamp dies, and I die cut those out of the Pixie cardstock. I inked up the edges with grape ink, and I backed them up on a grape shadow layer. And I also used the Love You word dies, and you can see how I just pieced in a few of the red hearts and did some colorful pattern paper. I think that card turned out so cute, and you can see how it stands up. And I'll just lay it flat so you can get a better look at it here on the video. And I think that turned out super cute. So these are the 2 cards that I made using the double Z-fold card. So again, we have the happy birthday with the balloons and the love you card. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Leave them down below, and be sure to subscribe for more card making inspiration. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.